Hi, I'm Kim Glanowski. I'm with Eden Hope Academy, and we're going to be doing Link-It cards today. I'm so glad that you joined us. Link-It cards are one of my very favorite aspects of Eden Hope Academy because it goes deep into history and it helps the kids to learn critical thinking skills like nothing else I've ever seen. So why do we do it? We do it because most history is taught chronologically, or if it's not chronologically, it's taught kind of all over the place, kind of a shotgun approach to history. But when you teach it like that, you don't really see cycles. You don't get into the history and wonder how and why things happened and see how things connect together, and how when you have certain people groups together, certain events that go together, what will probably happen next and how you can predict history or predict your future. So we do Link-It cards to ignite your children's passion for learning and their imagination. And just wait and see. In about 3 weeks, you'll see your children start with a new vocabulary. They'll say, that links to that. And they'll have learned that at Eden Hope Academy. So let's get out your cards. Now, I just got out a random set, and this is what I would do when I'll be teaching critical thinking skills at the campus I work on. And so I'll just shuffle them a little bit. And the first week doesn't have a ton of linking for it because it's just our first week, but we'll add these to our second week, third, fourth, fifth. By the end of the year, we'll have the whole stack and your children will be able to link them. So if you're working with your kids at home, get out those cards and let's start working on them. So my first card is United States of America. Oh, that's easy. I'm gonna just put that down right there, and I'm gonna say the United States of America is where a lot of inventiveness happened in the early part of the 1900s. Next card I have is airplane. Oh, there we go. The airplane, the first sustained flight of an airplane was built in Kitty Hawk, North Carolina, in the United States. Now, do you see how I had to have a little bit more information than the first airplane was built in the United States? I could have also said it was built by Orville and Wilbur Wright. I could have said that they were bicycle repairmen. It's got to have something more than just that the United States airplane. You've got to have a reason behind it. And kids love to give reasons. Some kids are long reasons. You might have to shorten them, and others you have to draw out a little bit. Either way is great. All right, I have 12 million immigrants arrived here before entering the United States. Well, I know that's Ellis Island. That's a direct link to the United States, so I'm gonna put it right beside the United States. And I'm gonna wait and I'm gonna link that to Ellis Island as well. So our next one is Susan B. Anthony. Well, I know that Susan B. Anthony fought for women's right to vote in the United States. So I'm gonna put her on the other side of the United States. My next one is connects Moscow to Vladivostok near the Pacific Ocean. Now, I remember from our videos this week that would be the Trans-Siberian Railroad. So I don't think that really connects to the United States. So I'm gonna make a new path to link. Now, some kids might say that links to the United States because they remember in the video that Tsar Nicholas I wanted to be like the United States in that we had a transcontinental railroad. And so maybe they could say the Trans-Pacific Railroad connected to the United States in that way. And that would be an okay link for Link-It Challenge. So keep that in mind, that they can think outside the box, and that is the purpose of Link-It Challenge. Next one I have is Monopoly. Well, now I don't mean the game here. I mean when, like Rockefeller he started buying up little bitty oil companies, and then he'd buy bigger and bigger and bigger oil refinery companies until he owned all of them, or 90% of them. And then he had a monopoly. And with his monopoly, he raised prices. And since there was no one to compete with him, no one had a choice but to buy through him. I don't really see where I would put that, so I'm gonna put that up here, because I think I have another link in just a minute where I can get Monopoly to Ellis Island. Oh, I have Trans-Siberian Railroad next. Now, I'm definitely putting that to connects Moscow to Vladivostok near the Pacific Ocean. And now I have Orville and Wilbur Wright, and I can do airplane. I'm gonna put steel, banking, and oil tycoons. I'm gonna put that next to Monopoly because the tycoons were people and they formed monopolies. Next I have, let them shout for joy because you defend them. Let those who also love your name be joyful in you. And that's our Bible verse. And I really don't know what I would connect that to. And it's important that if kids don't have a connection, that be okay. So definitely the connection for the Bible verse this week would be the other part of the Bible verse. So I'm gonna put it here. And now when I say it's okay that they don't have a connection, it doesn't mean that they can give you back a stack of cards and say, I don't have any connections. What that really means is they probably haven't done their book work and they probably haven't listened to the videos in the audio CD. And so make sure you encourage their moms for them to do that, because when they say they have no connections or they're bored or something like that, what they're really saying is, I haven't learned this stuff and I'm embarrassed. And we don't want any child to be embarrassed. We don't want any child to feel like they're not part of the Eden Hope community. So make sure you encourage moms to say, why don't you listen to those videos this week and just give it a shot. Have your kids listen to them because they are going to learn so much. And then when they get to class, they're going to be so excited to play these games. All right, so our next one is Ellis Island. And we had right here, connects 12 million people to 12 million people. And look what I also did. I have it to Monopoly just a little bit because I'm going to put Andrew Carnegie, who formed monopolies and was a migrant, an immigrant from Scotland. So look how all of those kind of go together. Next I have Carnegie, Mellon, and Rockefeller, who were steel, oil, and banking canal. Now, do you think we could connect the Panama Canal to the Trans-Siberian Railroad? Maybe. Maybe if you were to say that the Trans-Siberian Railroad was a connection from one part of a country to a hugely another part of the country, maybe. Maybe if you said the Trans-Siberian Railroad did not have modern technology like steam shovels, but the Panama Canal did, maybe. Those are the types of things when kids say them to you, like bright up like a Christmas tree and go like, wow, that's a really good thought, because they're going to think of things that you would never think of, and as long as it has some good information to it and it makes sense, let them make that link. So I'm going to go ahead and say, I know that this is talking about the Panama Canal, but I haven't gotten there yet, but I'm going to say that it was like the Trans-Siberian Railroad, but it did not have modern technology. It was like it because it was like a new way to connect things that had never been connected before. Something like that would be appropriate. Oh, here we go, Panama Canal. And then we have the first part of our Bible verse. And so what you should do when you're teaching the class is go through this a couple of times with the kids and see how many different ways you can put together your board. And then maybe give the kids a couple of cards and they can play where each child puts down 2 cards, something like that. Or if they're too little to read, that's okay. Just keep on reading these to them because they're absorbing that awesome vocabulary and they're learning so much by doing this game. I'm so glad you've joined us with Eden Hope Academy, and I look forward to seeing you next week.